Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle. Sprite Castle.
Mr. Rob O'Hara.
Sprite Castle.
Hey everybody, what is going on? We are. Hey everybody, oh what no. Is going on? We are. Oh no. Things are already messed up here. What is going on? I'm getting a weird time echo loop. Hearing myself right here in the monitor. Let me see if I mute the monitor. Let's see if that takes care of it. It does not seem to be taken care of. What on earth is going wrong? Why do things go wrong? What on earth is going wrong? Why? I know, I'm new at this. Let's see. I've got. I'm gonna take this out because it's driving me crazy. I've got audio, chat from Streamlabs. That worked out good. Torch, game, Windows. Torch. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's because I've got the stupid Twitch site still open. And that fixes it. Oh, boy. Look at that. I'm off to... This is the third official stream I've done, and all three have started off terribly. We're off to bad starts. And, man... I'll tell you what, the other bad start is my hair. It's a tough gig. It's amazing that I can't get fired from this. So I did not announce what I was going to be playing this week, but this is the official Sprite Castle Plays video. And of course, Sprite Castle is my podcast where I play, discuss, and review Commodore 64 games. So we will be playing a Commodore 64 game tonight. And let me go attach the disc. And let's take a look at this directory, and you will see that we will be playing Jeopardy. We're going to be playing Jeopardy because, as you probably know, Alex Trebek recently passed away from cancer, and it was a sad day because, man, I am of the generation that grew up with Jeopardy. I know he took over Jeopardy in the early to mid 1980s, and man, did I grow up playing Jeopardy. There was nothing that I looked forward to more than coming home from school. Jeopardy was on at 4:30 in the afternoon, so I would get home from school and run home. And this is waiting for ready. This game is a long loader, and so I may be cheating to make things go a little faster. It also has a cool cracking screen. Let's take a look at this. I think the audio is about right. Could probably stand to be just a tad bit louder. It's Jeopardy. Alright, we're adjusting levels, doing cool stuff. Alright. Jeopardy is a game that like I said, I played it. I got some funny Jeopardy stories, and not too many, but I definitely have one that I recall from my childhood. Is that weird that I have a Jeopardy story? Jeopardy, numeric keys to select number of contestants. So Jeopardy supports, for the Commodore 64, supports 1, 2, or 3 players, because it's all keyboard based. You don't have to use a joystick at all. I'm just going to be playing 1-player version of Jeopardy tonight, so going to be 1 player. Am I a returning champion? I am not, even though I did play this last night and I did win, but I'm not gonna keep that as a champion status. You could be a male or female contestant. I will be a male. And then I think there's about 3 different people to choose from, but it does swap up the color palette just slightly. So we've got this suave dude right here. You can hit 5 there, and you got this weird looking dude that looks like Raggedy Andy or something. And then you get the older, which is probably who I should be. Isn't it funny that yeah, it is true. It's very binary. It is male or female contested. Although I do like that there seem to be some different skin colors represented, so that's at least a little something. And here we are. This is definitely me. This is not what I look like on the outside, but this is who I feel like I am on the inside. We will probably only be playing one game of Jeopardy because this is not a fast game. Am I sure? Yes. Sometimes Damien. And then look, it picks a guy that looks just like me. I hate when it does that. So Jeopardy was originally made by a company, I think it was called IGE. You know what's funny is that I'm doing this before I do the actual podcast where I have all the information, where I do all my research about Jeopardy. But where is it? I just had IGE had the rights to publish several different game shows. And they had the publishing rights, but they weren't a publishing company, and so they ended up passing the rights on to Share Data, who published this game originally. And Share Data published several different game show type games, all that IGE had rights to, and eventually IGE said, wow, this is very successful. Why are we letting somebody else produce this? And so they created their own internal company called GameTech. So GameTech was a subsidiary of IGE, and GameTech ended up producing or publishing their own games after that. So this at this point, you have to go, if you're doing using an emulator like I am, and you have to flip the disk over and put in side B. And now with side B, and we can press 6 and it will start to load. This, I don't believe Jeopardy ever released additional questions that worked with this. What they did do was published other versions of Jeopardy. So for the Commodore 64, let me pull this up real quick. Well, actually that loaded pretty quick. There is a sports edition. There's a Jeopardy 2. So there was a couple different releases, but it wasn't like, you got a discount and you bought a $5 or $10 add-on or something. You actually had to rebuy the whole game, which it wasn't that expensive. This was kind of a budget title. And a lot of times you would see this. GameTech especially released all their titles. They had foil labels on there. You know what? Let me see if I can find one of those before we get started. Original Jeopardy floppy C64. And we'll see if we can find one of those just to show you what it looks like. But I don't really see exactly what I'm looking for right off the bat. I have an original copy of this. I have over in my giant disc box, so I guess I could have pulled that out. But the GameTech, let's see what this one is. The music on this is annoying and plays throughout the entire time. Let's see what we get here. Well, this isn't the greatest version, but you can kind of see what the label looked like. But the Wheel of Fortune and Family Feud and some of the other ones had those silver and gold foil labels that were on there. So here we go. We will get started playing Jeopardy. It works just like the game show does, or at least the old school version of the game show with 100 through 500. And I being the human competitor, get to go first. can choose any category and any value. I'm going to say that I'm not going to cheat, but if there's a question that I don't know the answer to and you want to shoot it up there in the chat window, I may go with it, but I'm not going to try to, I'm going to try not to Google any answers, which obviously was not a choice back in the mid 1980s when we first had this. So let's just start here on the left-hand side. We will go with mammals. Press that, and then we get to choose 1 through $500. We'll just start off easy here. The cottontail is a variety of this mammal species. Boom! Got to ring in fast. And we will say, so you have to tell it what is, what was. We'll say what is, and we're going to say rabbit. We should be able to retire right now. I'm up 100. I win the game. And it's all over. Don't. It starts that theme over every single question. Of horse, pig, and deer, the one with odd-toed hooves. That was not me that answered. Now, I will tell you, one of the annoying things about this game, one of the most unfair... Oh, I better pay attention here. John Chapman, American pioneer, is better known. I tried to ring in. I had to think of what the category was first. So one of the most frustrating things and unfair things about this game is when they get their answer wrong. Oh, fairy tales of the dwarves. I'm just ringing in. I didn't even read it yet. I get 30 seconds to answer, so I feel like of the 7 dwarves, the one most likely to have a chronic cold, it's got to be Sneezy. So let's say who is. Spelling counts in this game. So if you sometimes you can leave off an article, like you say a or an or the or something like that, and it will give it to you. But a lot of times if you miss a proper name, you won't get it. This mammal has the longest lifespan. I mean, it's going to be I'm thinking blue whale. Doesn't it have to be a blue whale? Let's try it. That's not right. You get all kinds of little sad sound effects. Oh, what is man? Oh, I guess blue whale's not a mammal. Why did I just say that? Oh, well. Fairy tales. The Grimms added a happy ending to... I'm guessing this is going to be Hansel and Gretel. Oh, wait. Oh, Le Petit Chaperon Rouge. By the way, that's my best French. I do not speak French, but I do know rouge is red, and I know petite is little, so I'm going to say that is little red. By the way, I have to type really slow because I'm going to type full speed. Riding Hood. That's what you get. Riding Hood. And you can type plenty fast in the Commodore 64 Basic or whatever. It does not miss keys. So this program, I guess it's the partial. Yeah, I thought a whale was a mammal. People outlive blue whales? I didn't know that. I guess I've never been friends long enough with a blue whale. I didn't know which one of us outlived the other. Canine culture hero and trickster Western. I'm hoping this is Rin Tin Tin. Canine culture hero and trickster of Western American legends. I'm hoping that's Rin Tin Tin. It's not going to be Lassie. The problem is I don't know if the chat window is going to be fast enough, so somebody might come up with the answer. Oh, the coyote. I thought it was like a specific thing. All right. Let's finish up mammals. Yeah, I do agree with you, Tintin. It's the fastest mammal in the water. I want to say it's a dolphin, but yeah, I should have went with it. But let's move over to fairy tales. I'm just kind of working my way across the board here. Oh, Daily Double. Daily Double 100 for fairy tales. I am all in. I'm all in at $100. You can wager between $5 and $100. Well, I'm at 100. He climbed a beanstalk and stole a giant's money bag, harp, and magic red hen. Who is Sir Graham from King's Quest 1? No, it's my namesake. Well, it's not Jack Flack. I believe it's Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, you know, based on these categories, I agree with you. I think that they are, they do look, well, we'll go into the movies who. That will be interesting to see, you know, how timeless those are. I think this was, I have to look it up. I think this is 87, I want to say, something like that. I'll look it up. A woodcutter abandons these children in the woods. Is it Hansel and Gretel? Yeah, too slow. Damien. The Omen. Oh, what are we going? Applesauce. The singing group which coined a recorder on the... Oh. Boy, Ferg would kill me if I didn't get this one. The singing group which owned and recorded on the Apple label. Who are... The Beatles. I am somehow only in second place, which seems not very good so far. Let's go to Fairy Tales. Let's close this out. He wrote Thumbelina and the Little Mermaid. Oh, it's Hans Christian Andersen. This is a good trivia night for me. Who is... Now let's see if I can do this. Hans Christian Andersen? Anderson? No, son. Okay, and you know what? It did give it to me. I said S-O-N and it was S-E-N, so maybe it didn't have to be quite exact. All right, let's move up to movies. I am great at movie trivia, as long as it's movies I've seen, which I guess describes everyone. I just saw the actress in Splash. Actress in Splash, yada, 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 and that would be the gorgeous and talented. I wonder if it matters if I say who is or who was. I don't think it really matters. Oh, is that how you spell that? I don't know. Yeah, all right. I do not know how many questions are in this, but I can tell you that I did not have any of these categories yesterday. These are all brand new categories. But I think later on, between tonight and tomorrow, when I do the actual podcast, I'll be doing the actual Sprite Castle podcast. A comic writer director used the name of a fruit for one of his films. Apple, banana, orange. Woody Allen. I'm not a strong Woody Allen guy. Yeah, so it's funny that I think, obviously, that a floppy disk, we were just talking about the number of questions that this may have. A floppy disk has more storage than a Nintendo cartridge. Oscar-nominated actress in Kramer versus Kramer. Oh, yeah, Meryl Streep. Oh, it lets you do Jane Alexander, Meryl Streep. So I would think that you'd be able to fit a lot more... what is this? Apples and people are sometimes rotten to this. Boy, yeah, so this is what I talked about on yesterday's stream, is that I'm not good at doing one thing at a time, and doing three things at a time may prove to be beyond the capabilities of my feeble brain. Playing a game, and a game where you have to read, so I'm definitely reading these questions and having to think about them, and chatting, and I know that I'm just going to get lost in my own thought here. This is the first game I noticed a TV movie. Dennis Weaver and this director who first gained notice with TV movie. That TV movie, which I cannot think of the name of the movie, but I know. God, what is the name of that movie? I just watched it not too long ago. Or the truck. Duel. Sometimes the trivia gets stuck there somewhere in the back of the old brain. Movies who his efforts didn't win this director the right stuff. Oh, wasn't that Ron Howard? Ron Howard do the right stuff? No, he did not. So I think on a floppy disk, I think you could get a lot more questions than you could fit on a. I would not have got Philip Kaufman. You could get more questions stored, and again, it is a shame, that you couldn't buy just an additional set of questions or whatever. I wonder if there's things where you could make them. That would be a cool little utility. This major college bowl game is. Isn't this the Orange Bowl? I'm in Oklahoma. I got a master's degree from the University of Oklahoma, OU football, who goes to the Orange Bowl all the time. Used to, anyway. And my son is currently attending OU, and I'm paying for a dorm that he can't stay in because the dorms are now closed due to COVID, but we paid for the dorm up front. So I'm going to turn the dorm into an Airbnb. Florida was discovered, named, is that Ponce de Leon? Yeah, that was too late. Who beat me? That was Tony, my twin nerd over there on the other end. All right, what do we got? Sunshine State, 500. This nation received possession of Florida. I mean, it's got to be Spain? Do I guess Spain on a $500 question? Possession of Florida. England. Well, I'm glad I didn't guess. I told you that. The apple is a traditional tribe used by small children. Oh, the teacher. So I had a friend, my buddy Jeff, who I've talked to on many different podcasts over the years, and traditional fall beverage, it's going to be apple cider, that had a Nintendo. Their family had a Nintendo, and so they didn't have very many games. He didn't have two. I mean, they had some games, but I'm just letting the time run here for a second. So we would rent games, and yeah, we totally rented games like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and I think the place that we rented from, you could get them for 2 nights, and by the end of the second day, you were definitely seeing the same questions over and over. So I hope that there's more questions than there are tunes. This boggy area. Oh, it's not the swamp. What is it? The Florida Keys? No, Everglades. I knew that. Now I only know. Why do I know the Florida Everglades from Woody Woodpecker cartoons? The city of Miami Beach is located in this county. Anita Bryant's. Oh, don't know. Dade County. I would not know. You know what? All I know about Florida counties, this is dumb, is Broward County, because that's where the Two Life Crew got arrested. All right, valleys for 100. Napa, Sonoma, and Mendocino valleys are famous for this. What is Napa Valley? Is it famous for wine? Yeah, it was. I just gave up $100. Hope y'all are happy about that. What a valley girl might gag on. Well, I'm guessing this is probably saying gag me with a spoon, although I remember people saying gag me with a dead Smurf. I'm guessing dead Smurf is not the answer. We'll go with spoon. There you go. That's one cool thing about Jeopardy, even in real life, is that you know, like when I see the category valleys, I think I don't know that many valleys. I live in Oklahoma. You know, we don't have valleys. But then there's a question about Valley Girls, which is, you know, just goofy 80s trivia. Current stars of Dynasty and The Fall Guy co-starred with Barbara Stanwyck in this. Is it Death Valley? I tried to ring in. It was too late. Oh, no, I wasn't too late. It gave it to me. Oh, Flack starts the question. What is... I think it's Death Valley? Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, no, it's not Death Valley. Yeah, we have Paul's Valley. Paul's Valley is the home to the National Toy and action figure and toy museum, which I have been to multiple times. I didn't see what the answer was. Let's talk about that. This megaphone toting croonie of the 20s made a comeback. How was it seen in business? Oh, Rudy Valley. I would not get that. The Toy and Action Figure Museum is in Paul's Valley. I have been there, I think, 3 times now. Is the main camp of the Continental Army. Valley Forge. I've been to Valley Forge, too. No, I haven't. I've been to Pigeon Forge. Unfortunately, the category was... oh, I guess we're out of time. We're on to Double Jeopardy. If I can take control of the board here, this Oscar stands on top of a reel of film. Best movie? This Oscar... Wouldn't it be the movie of the year? Oh. Oh, it was more generic than what I was thinking. What do we got here? Fishy foods. Fish are the major diet and animal on this. That's got to be Asia. Let's say what is Asia. What did I just do wrong? Diet of animals. Oh, I'm sure it was Antarctica. Now that I read it. Wrote the Ballad of Rain and Gall and in prison on moral charges. I don't know who did that. I don't know that. Wrote the Ballad of Reading Gall in 1880 while in prison on morals charges. Makes me think of Darwin. No, Oscar Wilde. Oh, it's Oscars. Why would I guess? I need a break. Whoa! Thanks, Tony. Thanks for giving me a chance to rein in there. Fads. I'm just ringing in. I didn't even read it. If it's a fad, I'm going to know it. That's how sure I am. An energetic form of musical exhibition made popular in big city streets. An energetic form of musical... Square dancing? That can't be right. You think that's right? An energetic form of musical... I want to say it's a dance-off, but... this is not going to be right. Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, that's not fair. I missed a breakdancing question. I might play a breakdancing game after this. Oh, that makes me so mad. Adopted as well as purchased. Those are obviously Cabbage Patch dolls. What are... This is fads. Fads? I've got one. I don't really have a Cabbage Patch doll. All right, good. I have control of the board. Toy and Action Figure Museum is in Paul's Valley, as I started to say. It is a... You know what? This whole time I'm like, oh, I can't get a break on this game. You know what? Alt, pause. It's paused. And we went there, It is, I don't know. I don't think it's that much money. I mean, it's like maybe $10 to get in or something like that. And you go in, and the first time we went, they had an entire diorama set up of 12-inch G.I. Joe dolls. And they had like Jeeps and like buildings. And so, I mean, it was like this big giant thing that you walked in and looked at. It was really cool. And then they had an entire collection in the middle of He-Man, or vintage He-Man figures, which were all unopened. And then in the back, there was a Star Wars collection. And I would say the Star Wars stuff was good, but the problem is that I have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Star Wars items. So, I mean, to everybody else, I think they would think it was awesome. And to me, I was like, it, kind of looks like my garage a little bit. And then you go over to the left from there, and in the back corner, they have used that spray and foam insulation and created this giant cave. And in the cave is they've painted it gray, and it's all Batman collectibles. And it was really cool. They had Batman stuff from, all the way back to the 60s, like the vintage Batman, lots of vintage toys and stuff like that. And then I'm kind of mentally walking through. They had a big section set up for wrestling action figures. And then they had superheroes, and it was like, this is the Marvel side and this was the DC side. They were all separate. And then probably the coolest thing in there for me anyway, is they have this, imagine like what a bedroom would look like, but on a movie set. So there's no walls. So it kind of looks like, a bedroom, but there's no walls, where there's a bed in the middle and a dresser and stuff like that. And there are hundreds and hundreds of toys all over this thing. There's stuff hanging from the ceiling. There's stuff on the walls. There's toys all over and the thing is, there's all kinds of like little funny jokes. Like, there'll be like Batman and Robin and the Millennium Falcon, and then Han Solo and Chewbacca are waving their arms and stuff, trying to get him down, and just going through it and looking at all those things. Hey, Frodo, what's up, my friend? I haven't figured this out, and Frodo, you're right, but I gotta figure out a way, and this is just my ignorance on how to do this. But when I went to Twitch, I could only find a place to change what game I was playing when it was actually playing. And when I go there, I can go do that right now. But when I go there, unfortunately, I just start getting this huge feedback echo right in my headphones. And I hope that, I don't think you get it on your side. I hope you don't get it on your side. But when I wasn't streaming, I couldn't figure out a way to change it. When I wasn't streaming, I couldn't figure out a way to change it. Let's go change it here real quick. Streaming, I couldn't figure out a way to change it. Let's go change it here real quick. Let's go for category. What can I find? Is there a... Let's go for category. There's a Commodore. Commodore. We'll change that to Commodore. Let's go for category. I gotta figure out a way to change that before the streaming starts. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of different bots, and I haven't really got to. You know what? It's day 3. All right, we're unpausing here. Let's go into World Cities. World Cities for 200. It was the first Canadian city to have a Major League Baseball team. I do not know baseball or Canada. I'm thinking of Montreal. I could see that. So Batman from the 60s. I watched Batman from the 60s. I wasn't born in the 60s. I was born in 73. Until 1967, Jordan controlled half of this Middle Eastern. Jordan. Yeah, I should have known that. So when I was a little kid, like in the mid 70s and even late 70s, they were still showing reruns of Batman. I mean, it was a 10-year-old show that was popular, so Batman was on all the time. I went as Batman for Halloween when I was 3, 4, something like that. As vintage old school Batman. Let's get this World Cities thing. Yugoslavia's capital is also in this river, most commonly associated with Vienna. Yeah, Danube. I had a Yugo from Yugoslavia. It was the first new car I ever owned, and it cost less than $4,000. Oh, do I know his last name? I mean, I know Felix and Oscar. Felix Unger. Let's see if this comes to me in 30 seconds. Who is... I'm sure it's not going to give me that. Madison. I was thinking Dolly Madison. No. So sorry. Yeah. See, that's what I was afraid was going to happen with Jeopardy. Is that I'm going to get sidetracked in my own stories. Site World War II crime trial. That's at Nuremberg. I owned a Yugo. So I had a See, I see who and what. I guess let's just say what. Oh, I don't know how to spell this. That does not look right. That E in the middle. Yeah. It's not right. I'm negative? Wow. Nuremberg. That should have been... Shouldn't you get partial credit? If I were on the real show, I wouldn't have had to spell that. They speak Portuguese in the South American capital. What is the capital of South America? I should know that. I'm embarrassed. Nope, I didn't know that. So I had a Yugo. Well, I had a... my first car was a 1979 Mustang with a V8, and I kind of sort of tore it up. I was too rough on it. It probably would have lasted for a long time, but I was really rough on it, and ended up tearing up. Well, I ran out of oil, but I ran out of oil because I messed up the engine. It was a long story. So then I got a Formula Firebird, which was also a great car for a 16, 17-year-old boy, and I basically ran that out of oil in a different way. Like I ran it out of oil. The Mustang, I broke the oil pump doing stupid stuff. So I had all these cars. My dad's was a car guy, a hot rod guy, and he wanted me to have a hot rod. But I think they figured out eventually that I was going to be destroying cars and that it wasn't a good idea. And so based on that, they were like, listen, we need to get you a car that is smaller and more economical. And so I had a friend of the family who worked at a car dealership, and he was like, listen, we got these Yugos in, and they've been sitting new on the lot for 3 years and not selling. So in 1989 or 1990, I got an 86 Yugo that had been sitting there. And so I got it, and about a month later, I rear-ended somebody, and it totaled the car. And it wasn't like that hard of a collision, but the whole front end just disintegrated and the engine came out. It broke all the motor mounts, and the engine was laying there in the street. And yeah, it was totaled. I did a number on the old Yugo. But the cool thing about the Yugo was, boy, oh boy, World Cities. Oh, I don't even get to type in a thing. Oh, because I'm negative. I'm going to go 400, even though I'm not going to get this right, and I'm going to go even further in the hole here. Well, that's not a PC term. Who is trademarked for Oscar Mayer hot dogs? Who is the chef? I mean, I wish it was an Oscar Mayer wiener. Trademarked. I mean, all I could think is the stupid glove, the hamburger helper guy, but that's not for Oscar Mayer hot dogs. Who is this? Miniature chef. Oh, is it Chef Boyardee? No, he wasn't tiny. Little Oscar. I did not know that. I did not know Little Oscar. And I keep forgetting what category I'm in. You'll find his signature on clothes, perfume, Oscar. Who is Oscar clothing and glasses and frames? Oscar. I don't know that one. It's not my strong suit. Perfume and Oscar de la Renta. Huh. I did not know that. I gotta get out of the hole here. Watch this. Oh, somebody else is choosing fishy foods. In England, they're prepared as kippers. I want to say fish and chips. Is that right? Fish sticks? Oh, herring. Oh. Why is this guy stuck on fish foods? Preserved whole in oil. Pilchards are better known by this name. It's got to be fish. Oh. I don't know. I used to work with a guy who would come in Child Classic. The Teddy Bear Hero Children's Stories. Oh, all right. Now we're into my category. Fads and children's books. I'm going all the way. I'm just going to start ringing in on these. I used to work with a guy who would come in and make his breakfast. It was in a very small area where only 6 people sat. He would come in and he would go down to the cafeteria, or little cafeteria, and get scrambled eggs and come back, and then he would put sardines on it and microwave it, and the whole room would just smell like burnt sardines. And that turned me off of I try a lot of stuff, but yeah, that put me off sardines. All right, now we're going children's classic for 1,000, baby. Edward Sturmer's series featuring this boy inventor's hair-raising. Who's the boy? Tom Swift. Yeah, I should have known that. I tried to answer swiftly. What did I do? Oh, I did fads. Give me fads for 1,000. 60s menswear, which took its name from Indian Prime Minister. 60s menswear fashion. Oh. Nope. How about some 80s fads? I bet I would get that. Chubby Checker. Know that one. I did not need Car Talk to tell me that the Yugo was a terrible car. I owned one. And I believe it had a 1.3 liter engine, which was not enough. It was okay because it was a standard, so I could at least start up. It did not have had no air conditioning. It just had a vent blower. What else about the Yugo? And then the first thing I did was my friends and I, this was 1990, was I went to my friend's house who had access to power tools, and we built a giant speaker box. And I put 2 15-inch subwoofers in the back of a Yugo. I didn't even read this. This is fads, and I'm all in. That's how much. Kids everywhere began to speak like these after Moon Zappa. Oh, this isn't really fair, because she's a Valley girl, like for sure. Yeah, so that was the important thing to me. Was also I got the car right before Halloween, and I went to a local Halloween store, and I bought these big vinyl stickers. One was of a skull and one was of the Grim Reaper. So I was driving around in a Yugo, a red Yugo, with a Grim Reaper and a skull and these giant speakers in the back. And what else about the Yugo? I remember that the Yugo had 13-inch wheels and tires. So I didn't have it long enough for that to be an issue, but I always wondered if that would be an issue. And then later, a car or two after that, I got a Ford Festiva and it has 12-inch wheels and tires. And I have owned so many cars. I have a gift of buying more often than not. I'll buy something and then it has the most expensive parts and stuff that go into it. I bought a Yamaha R1 motorcycle, and I always wanted a crotch rocket. I've had all these cruiser motorcycles and stuff, and I was like, I just want to own one. I just want to have I thought I heard somebody, and then I looked at this McRib. It scared me. That's a first. Anyway, I called when the battery went out, and I called the Yamaha place, and I said, hey, how much is a battery? And they said, all of our batteries are around $50, give or take. And I said, okay. And I went down there and I said, hey, I have a Yamaha R1. And he goes, oh, let me get you a battery. And it was $139. And that is like the story of my life. I mean, I called the same thing on that bike. That's it's a pretty high performance motorcycle, but I called a place about motorcycle tires, and they were like, oh yeah, it's roughly $100 a tire. And I went, and I think tires were like $300 or $400 or whatever. And so everything that I do somehow, like when I buy something, it's going to have the most expensive parts, the most, expensive upkeep or whatever. It's just a curse. I have many, many lucky things that happen in my life, but that's one that always seems to bite me. But the opposite was on that Ford Festiva. I mean, I had to replace a set of tires, and I think it was like $50 or something. I remember the guy telling me, I was like, do you have 12-inch tires? And he goes, for what, like a lawnmower? I was like, no, for my Ford Festiva. Child classic. I'm just ringing in. I'm ringing in. That's how much I'm in. I'm all in. J.R. Weiss related the adventures of a European clergyman, his wife, and 4 sons on an island. On an island. It's not Robinson. Is it Robinson Crusoe? I don't think it is. Crusoe? That does not look right. That's not how you spell. You're right. Swiss Family Robinson. I'm dumb. Yeah, I knew it wasn't Swiss Family. Or I knew it wasn't Robinson Crusoe. 3 types of this popular food fish are the skipjack, bluefin, and yellowtail. Isn't that swordfish? I'm gonna guess swordfish. I gotta go to the hole. If I don't make it to Final Jeopardy, it's gonna be a bad episode. No, is it marlin? Yellowtail? Now I feel like it's marlin. But I feel like bluefin. Is it tuna? I don't know. Yeah. All right. I'm blaming this one on you, Tintin. Oh, I knew it. I believed you all along. I had faith. I never doubted you. All I was thinking of is those blue fish, like when they mount a swordfish or whatever. I believe in swordfish. He believes in swordfish. I just throw random dead milkman quotes. He sleeps through the Revolutionary War. Oh, that's Rip Van Winkle. I like how the guy in the middle, he always seems happy, Damien, for being, I like to imagine that he's the guy from The Omen all grown up, like the antagonist of the Sheriff of Nottingham. That's an easy one. That is my favorite Disney movie of all. Oh, I don't like saying favorite. But I would say there was a time where I would say it was my favorite Disney cartoon. Maybe I could say favorite Disney cartoon, because Tron is Disney. That's what makes it tough, man. I like some Tron, so it'd be tough to say that was my favorite Disney movie. But well, look what categories left. Looks what's staring us here, partner. The Law. Oh, Daily Double. You think this is going to be easy because it's $200 question? find out. Go big or go home. A defamatory statement. It's the written counterpart of a slander utterance. Well, the good news is that I hope that's spelled right. Libel? That is spelled right. Oh! I added the A. I didn't even see that till the end. Well, I'm glad I didn't get my brag in yet, because what I was going to say is that I have an associate's degree in journalism and I know all about libel. Paul Newman played a down-at-the-heels lawyer in this. Oh, what is that? I don't know. Tuna. What is tuna? This game's not fast, is it? This is, you gotta be, oh, The Verdict. I never saw it. You know, I do love, is it Paul Newman in 3 Days of the Condor? That is one of my favorite movies. That is a great movie. It's kind of like the predecessor of Sneakers and those type of movies. It's really good. Person named in a will to carry out its terms. That's the executor. But really? Spelling counts. Do you remember having to do this with the Nintendo gamepad? That was even worse. Who is the executor of the will? You know, as long as I make it to Final Jeopardy, I feel like it was a good showing. You know what also is interesting, I just thought about this, is that I know that you, remember at the very beginning I said you could be a male or female character, but it's funny that there just ended up being 3 men. This constitutional amendment guarantees the right to bear arms. Well, I hate to say this, but I have, although this was, so you got it wrong. I have, oh, look how sad he is. That's what I typed, was Second Amendment. See, and that makes me mad. Well, Frodo, fictional name used in a standard plaintiff in a court case. Fictional, I'm going to say John Doe. I'm going to hope. I think that's right. As you know, Frodo, we just had a big election here, and I live in Oklahoma, which is also very pro-right. Not pro-right, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say pro-gun, which I guess does go with the right a little bit, but that has been a very big part of the election. People have been talking about Second Amendment, so I do know what, I mean, I am familiar with, the category is Russia. So we were just talking about how this is not dated, and for the most part it has been not dated, and now we get to a country that doesn't exist. No. I'm thinking of it backwards. Okay. I mean, don't you feel like I got to be all in? And I feel good because I'm definitely going to be Googling the answer to this. Yeah, I was thinking the USSR. He won Nobel Prize in 1958 for Dr. Zhivago. Oh, Dr. Zhivago. All right, Google. Dr. Zhivago. Robert Bolt or oh no. I should have paused it. Oh, you're right. Please remove question disk and reinsert the game disk. Oh, all right. Well, let's flip the disk back over. Go back to that. Hit 6. I know. You know what? I looked at it. It was like right. There's just enough of a delay where it was just coming up right when it was running out of time. Jim. You didn't have to Google that? You know what? I've never seen Dr. Zhivago. I was thinking of Dr. Moreau. What I was thinking, and I was like, why would the guy that did Dr. Moreau, why would he have got a Nobel Prize? That seems silly. Hey, at least we got a different song here at the end. You know what? Let me look and see how long this is. Gosh, this has been. Here's the thing: is I don't know when to quit. I feel like I'm okay. I feel like I could do another round of Jeopardy. You know what? If people don't hang around, then I get it. But I feel like I just failed. I didn't even get through Final Jeopardy. Now I'm mad. I'm mad as hell, and I don't want to take it anymore. That's from Dr. Zhivago. Do you want the same contestants? No, I do not. It's not from Dr. Zhivago. Yeah, I love trivia. I've been a trivia fan forever. I have a friend of mine who lives in Washington, D.C., and I have... when I go to DC, I used to go to DC a lot for work. I mean, I probably used to go, I used to go 4 times a year, maybe, which seems like a lot. My wife actually had an office in DC, and she was technically, she got hired by, we both worked for the FAA, and she was going to Washington, D.C. once per pay period, so once every other week. So she was going to D.C. twice a month. And anyway, one of my good friends out there was on a trivia team. And so on Thursday nights, they played trivia. So if I was in, I should say I'm a returning champion. I should just lie if it's going to ask me. I'm going to be male. And let's see. This is kind of like a statesman kind of nerd. You know what I want to get? I want to get that Raggedy Ant. Yeah, I want that guy. I don't know if I should put Flack, though. Yeah, I guess I will. All right. Yeah, you know, it really hit me about when Alex Trebek passed away. I mean, again, it's one of those things that Alex Trebek, you know, I've been watching Jeopardy since, you know, in the 80s. I mean, since I was a little kid. So here's a fun story for you. I'll tell you real quick. Actually, I'm going to get this started, and then I'll pause it for a second. And there's a new Brainiac guy, Ken. Oh, Ken Jennings. Oh, and our first lady contestant, Miss Jane. So when I was a kid, it was right before cable got really inexpensive. Cable was still pretty expensive at the time, and you only got 30 channels or something like that. And my dad talked to a guy about getting a satellite dish. And so my dad ended up buying a satellite dish, and it was one of those, remember like the big, gigantic satellite dish? It was one of those. And it was in our backyard. And I remember when he would, like if you would change channels, you know, it would change satellites, and it would sit there. You could go run to the back door and you could watch it. It would turn, you know, to different satellites and things like that. And had this big giant remote that looked like a scientific calculator. Just had buttons all over it, you know, for punching in longitudes and latitudes and stuff like that. And, so anyway, I'm going to pause this just so I don't have to hear the music for a minute. So if you had a satellite back then, you would get, yeah, exactly. This was, ours was, I know that like the neighbors of ours had this solid one that looked like it was made out of concrete, you know, but ours was the black, mesh disc, which I guess was better for, in Oklahoma, it's better for wind, And so the thing is that I don't remember if it was the beginning of the week or the end of the week. It must have been over the weekend or something, but they would send to the local affiliate like a week's worth of shows. And so you could tune in to different, I watched all kinds of crazy stuff. We used to get like Mexican wrestling. It was all in Spanish, and you'd go to this one satellite and you could flip channels and there'd be like 2 or 3 feeds of wrestling, and none of it was in English. And I would just watch it because I was a big fan of wrestling, when I was a little kid. And there might have been an adult satellite that I found, possibly. But one thing was you could find the feed where they would send Jeopardy and other game shows. And so Sunday night, they would send a week's worth of Jeopardy episodes to the local affiliate, who would then record them. And then, of course, I guess they split them up, and then that's what they aired throughout the week. So Sunday night, you could go tune in and you would get a week's worth of Jeopardy. Of course, they didn't have the commercials. It would just be blanked out where the commercials would go. But so this was my thing, was you would watch this week's worth of Jeopardy and then invite a friend over after school, and your buddy would come over. And I didn't know that's what it was called, the SkyPath system. But yes, but yeah. I mean, literally, it was just you talk about, I mean, I guess it's one step above SneakerNet, like carrying a tape from point A to point B, but literally just broadcasting it and then recording that broadcast and re-airing that broadcast, right? So anyway, that was the fun thing, is that I would have a friend come over after school, like ride the bus to my house, and then I'd be all nonchalant. I'd be like, hey, maybe we should watch Jeopardy. I don't know. And then they would ask these questions. I'd be like, oh, Dr. Zhivago. Because I had just seen the episode beforehand. And sometimes I would write them down, write down the answers or technically the questions, I guess, But yeah, so that is what happened with satellite, as they started encrypting it. And so you could get less and less feeds. And so sometimes it would be an entire satellite would just go away and everything was scrambled. And eventually it got to the point where it was difficult to get, almost anything. And so we ended up giving the satellite to a family member who lived far enough outside of town that they couldn't get cable. So the satellite was better than nothing. So he got the satellite, and then that's when we got cable. So anyway, the 40s. Hey, in 20 years we could do this podcast again, and I'll be like, hey, look how modern this is. It's the 40s. Okay, it enabled American veterans to go to college for free. Isn't that the GI Bill? But I don't know if I'm going to spell this right. Does it want GI Bill? Not to be confused with G.I. Joe. Oh, look, it gave it to me there. Yeah, the satellite was ahead of its time in a way. What was funny is before we had the satellite, my dad, I don't know who that is, Admiral Halsey. I'm trying to think of Admiral. Would not have got that. So my dad worked with a guy who gave him a antenna that we put on top of the house. And we put the antenna on top of the house, and all of a sudden we started getting HBO on channel 2. So you could take our TV and tune it to channel 2, and you got HBO, because this is late 70s. There's no encryption. There's no anything. It was just, that's what it was. And this is one of my dad's favorite stories about that is a guy showed up to our house one time. I don't know that. And came and knocked on the door, and he told my dad, he was like, hey, you're stealing HBO. And my dad's like, I'm not stealing nothing, And the guy says, yeah. He goes, I know what that antenna is. You're stealing HBO. And my dad said, you're broadcasting HBO to my house. And I've just put an antenna on my house. If you don't want me to have HBO, don't broadcast HBO to my house, you know, and so that was literally all that was ever said about it. Okay. I could have got that, but old Jane was quick on the trigger there. All right, Jane, what are you picking? Category. A book of T.S. Eliot's poems was the inspiration for this hit Broadway musical. I'm going to go with Cats. Memories all alone in the... I'm not going to do karaoke. You know, at Pixels at Dawn, he's got the... he's got karaoke covered. I don't want to edge in on his... territory. Fortunately for you guys, I will not be singing the Cats. Boston nightclub site, a fire that killed... I should know that. Yeah. Yep, I've read that. You saw Cats, Frodo saw Cats in London. I've never seen Cats. I've been to very few musicals. I know this may be hard to believe, but not a lot of Broadway musicals make their way to Oklahoma. I did go see Spam-A-Lot. Spam-A-Lot came here. Where Dr. Seuss's amazing cat keeps... I'm going to say his hat? I don't really remember. And you know, I used to love the Cat in the Hat. And then, was that Michael Myers? Is that who did the Cat in the Hat? Or was it Jim Carrey? Yeah, Michael Myers did Cat in the Hat. Jim Carrey did the Grinch, is that right? I went to, I've only been in New York City one time. And when I was in New York City, Crooked Smile, how Crooked Six. Oh, is it the Crooked Man? There was a Crooked Man? Why do I feel like that's too simple of an answer? And so I went there for work, and I didn't have any time to do hardly anything. And so at night we went all up and down Broadway and just took pictures in front of all the shows. So I didn't go into any of them. I just got a ton of pictures of me standing in front of billboards and stuff. Mr. McGregor was playing with cabbages when they first caught sight of... Oh. Well, you should be ashamed of ringing in that fast. Cabbages when he saw this trespasser. Oh, Peter Rabbit. And I almost guessed Peter Cottontail. Yeah, that's I didn't even see the question. Category. Jane's back to her cats. Julie Newmar. Oh, hey, this seems like something we might have just talked about. Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt, and Lee Ann Merriweather all played this felonious female. Rawr. I think so. When we talk about this game being slightly outdated, I wonder if that's 2 words. Yeah. Because they could have thrown in who? Michelle Pfeiffer, and then who's the new Catwoman? I don't know. I'm gonna rip the music out of this. Oh, all right. You guys got 30 seconds to look this up if I don't know it, because I'm going all in. Fairy tales. In a fate worse than death, this tiny hero was felled by a spider's halitosis. Is that... I want to say Tom Thumb, but is that right? Killed by spider's bad breath. Oh no. Oh no, it's not coming up. I'm looking. Oh no, this isn't going to be right. I knew it all along. I did not know it all along. Good job, Raggedy Andy. Babies. Let's take babies. Pulled that one out of the old cha-cha. Impossible to find them when parents make plans on. Oh, my wife is as good, if not better, at Jeopardy than I am, and it is. I feel like I know more trivia than she does, but she has this gift to be able to glance at it and pull out the part where the question is, and yeah. So she. So when we play, I'm constantly the guy that is like, let me read the question. I didn't get to read the whole question. Misanthropic comic from whom Baby Leroy. Oh. You know what? I don't know very much about W.C. Fields, and I just got... this is a category. After this, I'm going to pause it. Hello. I'm sure I would have got Felix the Cat, whatever that was. All right, remember W.C. Fields. Islands. Nickname for coffee. Indonesia. Nickname for coffee. Joe? The Isle of Joe? I don't know. No, Java. Is it Java? Nickname for coffee. I'm going to go with Java. I really don't know this one. That's what I would guess. I'm going to guess Java. I don't know if that many nicknames for coffee. All right, that worked out. All right, let's pause this for a second. Nickname for guy who drinks coffee, Joe. I have a bad movie night. I have my buddies over. They're called the Nasty Pirates, which is just a goofy nickname that we made up in high school, and it's three of my very best friends. And so we have nasty. So we used to have these get-togethers where we would all go to one guy's house and another guy's house, and we'd kind of rotate around. But a lot of the other guys, like we would go over and maybe play trivia or go over and just hang out, play video games. But every time we came to my house, I would pick out bad movies to watch. And so the guys would come over and we have a double feature, and I would just and I always try to find two movies that go together. Last time we did it, which has been it's been several months ago, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, but we watched Tammy and the T-Rex, followed by Velocipaster, which if you've not seen, actually both of those movies, if you like good, bad movies, are good, bad movies. But anyway, I had found a couple of bad shark movies. There's Ghost Shark. There's a movie called Ouija Shark, which is a very, very stupid movie. It's about these teenagers who, I say teenagers, young ladies, who find one of them finds a Ouija board floating in the ocean, and they start messing with it, and they summon up the ghost of a shark who starts coming back to haunt them and kill people, which is really not that dissimilar from Ghost Shark, which is also about a shark that's a ghost. But Ghost Shark can appear anywhere where there's water. So like they're running from Ghost Shark and then it starts raining, and Ghost Shark can jump out of puddles and stuff. Ghost Shark even appears inside of a guy and splits him in two because he was drinking water. So not a lot of logic in either one of these movies. But I was looking for other shark movies to try to put together, a fun, nasty Pirates night for shark movies. And I found this movie called Pool Sharks. And I was like, oh, okay, this sounds like sharks that live in hey, man, Paul, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's almost bedtime for me. I went, well, it's not really bedtime, but if I had to choose between watching an old guy play Jeopardy and eating dinner, I would go with number 2. You've made the right choice, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Anyway, long story short, I found this movie called Pool Sharks, and I downloaded it, and it had nothing to do with sharks. It had to do with playing billiards, but it was the very first movie that W.C. Fields was in. It's a silent movie starring, God, Frodo, are you a night owl? Are you a late night guy? Or are you an early morning guy? By the way, Paul Ramos was one of the original Sprite Castle fans way back when, and I used to have a contest on the podcast to guess an 8-bit song at the end of the show, and I believe, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, he might already be gone, but that he was, so if you got the question, you were king of the castle. And if you got it 3 times, I had to retire people because they were getting every single one, and they were really good at guessing my songs. But then you were retired permanent royalty in the Sprite Castle Hall of Fame. And I believe Paul was, there's only like 3 people that were retired royalty, and I think Paul was one of those. So Paul's been a fan of Sprite Castle for an awful long time. Generally, baby's first trip to church is for this event. I believe this is for a baptism. You're watching. Oh, is Desert Bus? Is that the Penn and Teller game? Is that the old Penn and Teller game? Let's see. What is a? Oh, is it going to be... Did I spell it wrong, or is it a christening? Yeah, christening. I was so close. And who plays... Who's playing Desert Bus? I know Ferg just did his fundraiser for... he does 24 hours, and a couple other podcasters are doing it. What's it called? Oh, I should know that. This deciduous, are they... Is that your... It's not your incisors. Molars? Oh, maybe it's your baby teeth. It's baby teeth. Yeah, so I remember the... I'm a huge fan of Penn and Teller. I watch... I'm pretty sure I've seen everything that Penn and Teller have done. I have seen right here, about 6 feet away from me, too far to reach, but right there, I have 3 or 4 Penn and Teller books, and one of them I got signed by Penn and Teller. We got to go to Las Vegas several years ago and saw Penn and Teller's live show. Oh, that went so fast I couldn't read that. Not a child. Gosh. I did not see Penn and Teller when they came to Oklahoma City. I didn't know they came to Oklahoma City. Gosh, these guys are ringing in so fast. I know that they were coming to WinStar was the closest that I knew they were coming. But that was like right after we had just seen them. Wow, these guys are really picking it up for round 2. I haven't been able to read a question. Islands. I saw anatomically named. What could that be? Oh, I saw King Kong. The Civic Center. No, I missed that show. I did not do that. I knew that they came to WinStar down there on the Oklahoma-Texas border, but I didn't know they came here. Yeah, that was I guess it was either 2015, I think, when we went to go see them. Let's go Alphabet Soup. Let's see what this is. I tried to ring in, but it wouldn't let me. Yeah, and so as people that are fans of Penn and Teller know, Teller, golly, I'm not liking this game. You know what? I'm wondering if it's I wonder if they play faster because I'm ahead, because they certainly haven't been doing this on other games, and now it's not even giving me time to read the question. I'm getting a little Jeopardy frustrated. Yeah, I love Penn and Teller Fool Us. This is ridiculous. Alphabet Soup. Watch this. Oh, I rung in first. Let's see what the question is. There have been indictments and resignations in this government agency charged with combating pollution. Oh, pollution. Well, that is Oh gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's from Ghostbusters. It's not the FDA, it is the oh, why can I not remember it? I've been there. I have a whole story about going there. God bless America. EPA. God, I knew it was like right there, and then there it is. I was right on the tip of my tongue. I went to the EPA. I don't know if I can tell this story on the stream. I can probably tell this story. I'm gonna ring it again though. I'm gonna beat these stupid. Well, I'm only in the first round. Oh my gosh. This international organization's charter reads to save succeeding generations from scourge of war. International anti-war peace. UNICEF? No, that's not right. That's not it. Oh, it's the UN and it gave it to me. You know what? Karma on Jeopardy is a sweet, sweet thing. That's what it owed me. It owed me for that other one that I didn't get, the Second Amendment. Miss Streisand dropped from first name. She became a star. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Where did she drop the A from? Eskimo vehicle spelled the same forwards and backwards. Kayak. Could have got that if it would let me read the question. I would have got that. I'm a big fan of palindromes. Bird ridden in around the world in 80 days. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing an ostrich. Yeah. I did not know that. What if she dropped all the names or all the A's? The Youth Club's name is hers. Oh, 4-H. What if her name is just Berber? She lost all the A's in her name. I was not in 4-H, but I was in Boy Scouts, and I was in Boy Scouts for about 2 months, maybe 3 months. And let's go to composers. I don't know any composers. Austrian. I mean, I only know Austrian. I mean, I'm going Amadeus. And now I will play the whole song. Amadeus, Amadeus. Oh, I should. Guess I should quit singing. Yeah, that's true. That would be another Austrian. Amadeus, Amadeus. Oh, Amadeus. That'll get me. That's going to cost. That's going to cost me. Your stream has been flagged. Broadway great who wrote, "There's no business like showbiz." White Christmas. Is that? Oh, I didn't know who wrote that. Oh yeah, that's true. Amadeus. I'm stupid. I'm so focused on stuff. It's calling you. That belonged in the fish category for the first round. I Get Around. It's late singer who's Cadillac. I mean, I see late singer Cadillac. I got to go Elvis. With Diamond Dust, I'm going to say who is Elvis. I have been to Graceland. But he got his mom a pink Cadillac. Did he have a Cadillac? He did not. It turns out. I thought he might. Did Mozart have a Cadillac? Is that possible? Damn this game. American Music Man. He sings a tribute to Gary, Indiana. Oh yeah, Gary, Indiana. I should have known that. Notes discovery to a Mennonite monk named Don Dom Perignon. Oh, that's is it wine? No, champagne. I am not a fan of champagne. Random. This is random. The TV show host who didn't get gonged when he wrote Palisades Park. Oh, God, what was that guy's name? Oh, yes, I knew that one. Man, I think the brain started to fade. This is good that we're going this. I got around transportation by Mary Poppins. The only way I have time to ring in is I just see a keyword and then I just hit it. Hope that I can piece together the question. I have a coworker, my good friend Tim, and when that song came out, who was it, Rihanna, called Umbrella, and you know the chorus just goes Ella, 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 A, and Tim and I are neither one of us are Rihanna. We're not the demographic. Failed to understand or accomplish something, has missed this. The boat. Exactly, Frodo. And so the funny thing was, so we kept doing that to each other. I would call him. I'm trying to think of an example, but like I would say, I would call him at work and I would be like, hey, there's some guy here at the door that wants to see you. And he'd be like, who? And I'm like, I don't know. It's some weird looking fella. Ella, hey. We just kept doing that to each other for like months. Hey, you missed. It's the boat of car. No. It's just the regular boat. And I made it with 1 second left. I called it one time. And because the thing is, after a while, you have to start stretching it, you know. By the way, this Friends category is not going to be about the TV show. Friends Daily Double. Where are we at here, guys? 3,300. Flack has I wouldn't say commanding lead. But I feel like I can go, you know what? Let's make it interesting. I feel like I could come back from this easy. The neighbors you always feel obliged to keep up with. That is where's Ice Cream Jonesy tonight? Jones. Is that plural? Is it? All right. The Joneses. All right. The Joneses. We took it. Look at that. Raggedy Ann doesn't need any of your crap. He's taking a commanding lead. All right, Friends. Let's just wipe these out. This game is tiring. In comics, would I have got that? Jeff and Mutt? I don't know. Maybe. It might have come to me. Friends. Oh, now we're going to our composers. Friend said he was initially repulsed by George. Oh. Choppin' broccoli. That's when I see that. Choppin' broccoli. Choppin' broccoli. I hope this is broccoli. Wouldn't that be a good... Introduced by Romans introduced wedding cakes, I think is what the gist of that was. Went fast. Hog Butcher to the World. I'm the... What was his name? Abe Froman, the Sausage King. There's a... all fours. Word for a poetic stanza, 4 lines. Quatrain. I should have got that. There's a documentary on Netflix about a lady that basically recreated Ferris Bueller's Room as a art installation. Enchilada. And it's very interesting. And then when she did it, basically she got hired to move it to, I don't know if it was Comic-Con or some convention thing. So she had to tear it down. Alan Ladd. No, I didn't know that. And so she basically, I mean, it was all about how she had to always seem to be in need of a fourth. Oh, I never played bridge, but it was about how she like did all this research. Like she tracked down the exact keyboard. Spoon on desserts in Vienna. Well, Jane. Oh, Jane has taken the lead away from me. I'm in last place. I was snoozing. Tennessee town of Choo Choo. That's Chattanooga. Frodo, you need to be like 5 seconds faster. You're just telling me what I should have answered. I'm not going to be able to spell this. Chattanooga? Oh, it gave it to me. Oh. Raggedy Ann is never going to win with your delayed help. All right, we got to get out of this. I want to say I'm in a hole. I mean, I'm at $5,000 or something. The soundtrack to The Obscure Friends was written by this British superstar. American cities. It's called the Mile High City. Where does Ice Cream Jones live? Can't tell you exactly, but it reminds me of this place. Yeah, I know. It's funny when you start thinking of delay. Like I'm playing the game and I'm streaming it to, sending it to Twitch, and then you're getting it from Twitch. So I mean, but one thing is, I mean, it is going to the Netherlands pretty quick, so that's pretty amazing. And hopefully, I won't. I haven't really had to worry about the network problems that Boat and Aaron have run into over on the Amigos, which I think everybody here, I think everybody watches the Amigos. And if you're not, the Amigos are guys that, what's this category? Friends? Let's go 2000. Frodo, get on your time machine and jump forward 30 seconds so you can give me this answer. Caesar's friend betrayal. Oh, I didn't need it. Ugh. Brutus, Brute. I know, I wanted to say et tu, Brute. You think it's US? Yeah, neither one looks right. I'm going to go US. Flat gets $2,000. Flat gets $2,000. Oh. All fours. Yep. I should just, I mean, I know the answer has to, oh, what did they pick? Home of the Bean. Is that Boston? Boston baked bean and the cod? Is that right? I feel like it's Cape Cod. Can't take any chances at this point. I'm going to say it's Boston. Yeah, that's what I think. Boston beans. That makes sense. I went to the EPA. We mentioned the EPA earlier. When I was working, I was doing government work, doing security pen testing, and I got hired to go to the EPA in New York City. And he calls the signals in football. How about the coach? It's not going to want that, though. Yeah, how about the analysts that are up in the sky booth with their headsets? That's who's calling the plays. What have we got? One left. Composers. Oh, no chance. So yeah, I went to the EPA and I did a security pen test on one of their offices. Actually, a few of their offices. American literature. I feel like I might have a chance. American literature. And I don't like that. It takes away their totals. I don't know how much to bet now. You know what? This is Sprite Castle, baby. We're all in. There is novel This Side of Paradise. I see like the model of a Princeton man. This Side of Paradise. That's not Milton. F. Scott Fitzgerald? Okay. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Come on. Don't fail me now. American football, yes. Correct question. Let's see what else. It doesn't show me anybody else's stuff. Well, that's anticlimactic. Drive A. That's it? Where's the interview at the end? Where's the part where I get to be... Oh, never mind. All right, look at that. First place. First place. You know what the best part about this is? I get a different song. Now, I will say this is interesting. I didn't think about this before, but Jeopardy has got to be the most well-known game show theme of all time. I mean, obviously, they've changed it over the years. But everybody knows the Jeopardy theme, right? And so why is it not in this? Maybe they couldn't get the license for the... I mean, obviously, you don't see Alex Trebek, so they probably didn't get the license for him. But without the theme, I don't know. Do you want to play another game? No. Thank you for playing Jeopardy. And thank you, Frodo, and everyone else. You know, I'm going to do this Twitch thing one more time to try and see, because I can't really see. You know what I could do? Twitch.tv Rob O'Hara. And then I can Rob O'Hara mute this site. There we go. So you download? Is that what you? I mean, I don't want to call anybody out, but let me be the first to say that I have downloaded my share of stuff. But so you download episodes of Jeopardy? Is that what you do? I wish I could figure out. I can't seem to find the. Yeah, you know what? I really wish. I wish I could find. Yeah, so you're like me. You're getting the satellite, the advanced satellite feed. I wish I could find the like some of the '80s classic game shows, and they're like Tic-Tac-Toe. I used to always watch that, and The Joker's Wild. And there are a few episodes out there, but not very many episodes. I would love to get those in particular. I really liked those shows. I know there's a lot of old, certain different ones, like, you know, the dating game. Like, you always seem to see that. You always seem to see The Price is Right, like that stuff. But some of the lesser known game shows, and I watch Game Show Network. We have a Game Show Network here on cable. I watch that quite a bit, and but they seem to show like the same 3 or 4 shows. In the morning, sometimes they show Chain Reaction, but at night they just show the same stuff over and over. So. Well, man, Frodo, and I see Tintin is still in there. Thank you guys for dropping by. I know that Jeopardy may not be the most exciting Commodore game to play, but I wanted to play this as a little bit of a tribute to Alex Trebek And so if you check out the Sprite Castle podcast, I'll be recording that tomorrow, and then that should show up late Thursday night or early Friday morning on your feed if you subscribe to it, or if you subscribe to the Amigos Master podcast. You should get that. So, Frodo, it's me and you from now on. Obviously, Tintin, you're welcome to come too. We're just going to play trivia games. Tomorrow night, audiobook update. Ugh. You know what? So here's the thing. I really do want to have it ready by Christmas. I've messed around with it, but man, the problem is that every single thing I do in here seems to make my audio worse, And so, like, whether it's getting reverb or whether it's getting... now it's like it's almost too bassy. I've had that problem. So I may end up, I've got a pretty good setup for streaming and stuff like that. But for an audiobook, I just don't know if it's good enough. So I've been looking around. There are some local studios and I may actually do that. I may rent like time in a studio booth to go read the book, because I experimented. I can do a chapter, and it doesn't take that long, 10 or 15 minutes to read a chapter. The real problem is that when I start trying to do it, multiple ones, I start to get hoarse after a while. So, but I could probably do it in like a week or 2 weeks, So that's really the goal. I really, really am shooting to have it ready for Christmas time. That's the goal. So. All right, you guys, I'm going to shut it down. So thank you guys. It's really the most fun about all of this is I've been playing games, my whole life. I had an Atari. We had a Pong when I was 4 years old. I grew up with a Commodore in my bedroom. But the most fun was when my friend would come over, or my friends would come over, and you would play games and get to talk while you were playing games. And that's the most fun for me. So when you guys are there, in the chat room or whatever and hanging out, that's really what's fun for me. What's not fun for you guys is when I play Jeopardy for 2 hours. So, alrighty. Hey, thank you guys for coming in. Really, really appreciate it. And check out the podcast tomorrow, and I will see you somewhere else online. Take it easy, guys.